Hello everyone. So we're back to another session. I believe you all can see my screen. So let's head straight to chapter 11. Last time we talked about, I did a little introduction on CSS, a detailed introduction actually on CSS. So now I want to get right into CSS. Now we'll be starting off with colors. Let's go. So first off, foreground color. As you can see, this is the attribute for it. Like when you say foreground color, you're talking about the main color of something. Let's say if it's the foreground color is the color of, let's say, a text in an element. You understand? So it's the, if you have a div, whatever it's going to be the content of that div, you want to style it like the color of the text in that div. If you want to style that color, you have to use this color attribute, your CSS, to do the styling. So in the last class, I did a little example. I played around with the color, so you guys can just go straight deep into using colors, but you can see how it works. This is an example, so you can open up a H1 tag and then add this color to it. So maybe let's see if I can do something for you guys to see what it looks like. But this is going to be like the outcome of this code, the CSS code you can see here. So I'm trying to open my VS Code, because that's what I'm going to be using all through, like I said. So meanwhile, let's get into this. So you can use colors, you can specify colors in 3 ways: the RGB, as red, green, and blue, and then you set the values. So there are websites that you can use to, you know, just get this, easily get this. For instance, you can get the RGB value of a red color, you get the RGB value of an orange color, you get the RGB, so and you can get the different shades as well. So it's not, you can't, there's no way you can, memorize all these colors, all these values, the color codes. It's impossible. So you just have to a great extent, use the internet. You can just memorize a few if you want, but to a great extent, if you want to use that, you can use the internet. There are lots of websites where you can just go and type RGB value of maybe red, and you can see different shades of red, or RGB value of orange or black or anything, and then you see stuff there. I believe it's somewhere in this book anyway. So same thing, if you see that you use this RGB values to specify your color, that's text color. Whenever you hear color, excuse me, you're referring to the text color. Or if you use the hex codes, this is another way you can specify the values. For instance, if I want to specify black, so I'll just tell you the little ones. Black is 00000, that's 6 zeros. That's for black. If you want to specify white, use 111, sorry, F. So 6 Fs, like F into 6 spaces. That's how you specify the white. And what else? Or the color names, which we've been doing all the while. So this is it. You can use the color name, for instance, color, and then you see green, or color, and you see red, or color orange, color dark cyan, or you can use, this is the hex code, this is what it looks like. Or you can use the RGB values, this is what it looks like. So background color, sorry, so background color is now for the background of the background of a div or an element. So let's say you have a div and then you want the text in the div to be maybe green. You use the color attribute to specify that, say color green. If you want the background color of that div, that's where the text is going to be sitting on. To have a different color, you now have to use the background dash color attribute or property to do that, to set it. So you can see what this person did here was he made or she made the body to have a background color of this, you understand? The H1 tag. So this means that all H1 tags on this web page, website, depending on where the person declared it, we have a background color of dark cyan. All H2s, all Ps or paragraphs, we have this background color of white. So you can see what the outcome looks like. So let's go straight to the next page. So this is kind of going to be like one of the shortest classes. Let's see. That's okay. Let's go back anyway. Spin around with something. Yeah. Okay. Understanding colors. Yeah. So you guys can just read up this. Computer colors, computer monitors are made of thousands of tiny squares of called pixels. Yes, I've said this in one of my classes. Yes, this is one of the websites I was talking about that you can use to find a color. This is color scheme designer.com. There are lots of them out there that you can use. See that? So you can even adjust the hue, the saturation, the brightness, the values. When picking foreground and background colors, it is important to ensure that there is enough contrast for the text to be legible. This is very key. For instance, this doesn't look cool. Why? Because the text itself is white, and then this other guy is very, very light. So this is the key. If the text is going to be light, make sure that the background where it's going to sit on is dark. It mustn't be black. You might use a darker shade of green, you might use a darker shade of red or whatever you want to use, but make sure that your background is dark. That's if the text, that's the color of the text is going to be light. So, and then the other way around, so if the color of the text is going to be dark, just make sure that the background itself is light. You understand? So that the text will be legible enough for your user. Then mind how you combine colors as well. So, okay. Now opacity. So let me opacity. Okay. Now opacity, as you can see, is all about specifying how transparent an object should be, an element should be. You understand? So you can see this guy opacity has an opacity of 0.5, and you can see what the output, appears to be. This paragraph 1, this is what it looks like. And this paragraph 2, this is what it looks like. So now if you're using the RGB, you can specify it in two ways. You can do it either this way, like specify the background color to be this, which is black, 000 is black, and then you specify the opacity separately. Or you can do this way, specify a background color, then specify this way as well. You understand? So it's all up to you. Then the maximum opacity is 1. So you can do 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, up to 1. Can be more than one. So maybe you can just try this out on your own. Bring a div, set the opacity, set a background color, set the opacity, and see what it looks like. And just play around with things and see what these things look like. So you can see the difference. This guy has an RGB, but then an RGBA helps you to specify the opacity. You can see the opacity was set to 0.5 here, but what was used was RGBA. So it's two ways. You can do it this way, specify the opacity separately, or you use the RGBA. Same thing too, you can make this guy hex, like say hash FFF, that's white, and then set the opacity to, you understand? So you can, or you say background color green, and then set the opacity to whatever you want to do, and make sure the opacity is between 0 and 1. It can't be more than 1. So CSS3 introduced HSL colors. So HSL means hue, saturation, and lightness. These are things you could try out yourself and see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. So you can specify your color first, your background color first, and then the background color, you need to specify the hue and the hue, the saturation, and the lightness. It's all up to you, so you can play around with this. For me personally, I barely use this hue HSL, but it's a new thing in CSS that you can try out. It's CSS3 that you can try out. I barely use it. I use it once in a while, but you can try it out, play around with it, and see what it looks like. So as usual, so it's either you do this HSL. If you want to include an opacity to it, you can add the A, which is the alpha. You can add it to it. So this is the last value, that's the A. It has an opacity of 0.5. A hue of 0, a saturation of 100%, a lightness of 100%, and an opacity of 0.5. That's the HSLA. But if you're using just HSL, so you just specify only the hue, 0, this, you can change this percentage to whatever you want to change it to. So it's all up to you. You can play around with it and see what it looks like. That being said, I think we're done for today. So like I said, it's like the shortest topic. In our next class, we're going to be talking about text. So see you on the next one. Bye.